Hello everyone, this is Brother Birch. In this video I will be introducing how to set up an environment to write your code in. Okay, so anytime we want to write up like an English paper or something like that, we have to use a word editor such as like Microsoft Word or something like that. When we want to write programs, we need to download a text editor. Okay, so the text editor that I'm going to recommend for this class is called Visual Studio Code. It's a pretty lightweight text editor, which means it's easy to install and have run on your computer, and it's also able to do a lot of really awesome stuff. So whichever one is your operating system, go ahead and click on that one, and it will download this VS Code user setup exe file. Once that is done downloading, we are going to go ahead and open that up and run it. Okay, so it finished downloading. I'm going to open this up. I'll give it a sec. Okay, and then you should see something like this. All right. Once you review the agreement, go ahead and click I accept the agreement, and then you can just leave all this as the default. Okay, this add to path will just basically mean that you can use it on your computer anywhere you are when you're logged in. If you want to create a desktop icon, you can have that checked, and then just hit next. Okay, and then install. Okay, once it's done installing, you can go ahead and open it, and you should see something like this. Okay, you might see a little welcome page. If you want, you can just close out of that. But in here, I can open up a new file or whatever I want. There's quite a few options. Okay, right here, I want to point your attention to this little extensions button. If I click on this, depending on what programming language I'm going to be using, I'll probably want to download an extension for it. So if I was going to be coding in JavaScript, I might want to download this JavaScript code snippets extension. You can see how many people have used it, what the ratings are of the people that have rated it, and it'll tell you a few of the things that it'll do. Or if I wanted to do Python, I could search for Python, and you can see a lot of people have downloaded this, and you can read through some of the stuff that it will offer you. Okay, if you're going to be doing like web development, then you can go ahead and, there's several packs that exist in here. This particular one would install a bunch of stuff, and you probably wouldn't want all of that. But if you're just going to do basic web development, I might say you might want like an HTML, CSS support one, something like this, and then maybe a JavaScript one as well. Okay, but feel free to play with those. If you want to install one, all you got to do is just click on install, and it'll go ahead and install those extensions for you. All right, so I'm going to close this and come back here. I'm going to open up a new folder. Okay, now this is going to do something really cool. So let's say in my documents folder on my computer, I want to make a new folder called, programs or something like that. Okay, or I'll just say like, if I was going to be doing JavaScript programs, I could say like JavaScript programs or something like that. Then I could open this up, give it a sec, and you can see I have this little explorer over here that will show me what is in this folder. Now, there's absolutely nothing here right now, but if I wanted to make a new file, I could say, test.html or something like that. This would open up. And a cool little trick in Visual Studio Code, if you just type in an exclamation mark and hit enter, then it'll kind of give you a template HTML document. Okay. Now, as long as this is a .html file extension, then I should be able to run this. So I could put in something like this is a test and save it. And now what I want to do, I'll right click on the file up here and hit copy path. All right. I can go into my browser, open up a new tab, and just paste my tab or paste this file URL. Okay, so this is just where it's stored on my computer, and run it. Okay, and I can see this is a test being rendered, and here's the document up here that shows the title of my HTML document. And so there's quite a bit going on here, but you can see that I could test different things inside of this HTML document, and then I could actually run it and have it be rendered here. Okay, now where to go to learn more about this? If I just type in HTML tutorials, W3 Schools should be the first thing to come up, and Look at all this stuff over here. All sorts of stuff about HTML and how to get started. All right, I would just recommend, if you want to learn more about HTML, just start walking through these examples. With this, I could click on this try it yourself link and hit run, and it shows what a heading looks like and what a paragraph looks like. Or if I wanted to add a couple more headings, I can see what that would look like and how it's rendered. And so this is a really easy way to test code. All right, but I could look through here and see some different HTML things that it's teaching, and then I could just hit next when I'm ready to go on. Okay, so this is a really good place to learn about that, along with many other programming languages. Okay, so if you were going into Python or something like that, you can just go through a tutorial of how to get started with Python. But anyways, that's a little bit on text editors. Regardless of what programming language you're going to learn, again, I'd say download the extension for it, open up a fresh folder to store all of your stuff, because as soon as I make another file, I could just save this right here. Let's say I did have a JavaScript file. I could say test script.js, and here I have a JavaScript file, and I could write functions and things like that, and would recognize that as JavaScript code. Okay, and then both of these show up over here, and I can navigate easily between them. Okay. Anyways, so I hope that this video is helpful as far as getting Visual Studio Code set up and running it, and then how to run at least an HTML document. But yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know.